Good morning, everyone. It's always a pleasure and an honor to welcome the President of Ukraine here in Brussels. In a few minutes, we'll have the occasion to have an exchange of views following the presentation by you, dear President, of the victory plan. I have two messages for the people of Ukraine and for you, dear President. The first message, the EU, we are on your side for as long as it takes and whatever it takes. We know that you need more support, more military support and more financial support. No, this is urgent, this is needed, and we will have a good discussion to see how we can speed up, how we can make more efforts for more immediate support for the people of Ukraine from a military point of view, from a financial point of view. And my second point is very clear. Your destiny, the future of Ukraine, is within the EU. And last month we have made a lot of progress on both sides. I commend your personal leadership. I commend the way you and your team and the political landscape within the country you are implementing the reforms that are needed. We do not underestimate the momentum. We can see the difficulties at the geopolitical level. Winter is coming. There are a lot going on everywhere across the world, and more than ever, we need a clear message without any ambiguity, and your presence here sends a very powerful political message without any ambiguity. We are on the same side, we share the same dreams, we share the same values. We are impressed by the bravery, by the courage of the people of Ukraine, by your personal bravery. You can count on the EU.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Dear Charles, thank you first of all for invitation. Good morning to everybody. Thank you for invitation and this possibility to join the Council and speak with leaders. And of course, for me, it's very important to share our victory plan with all the leaders who helped us. With your leadership from the very beginning of full-scale war, and with some notes which will be out of press. Of course, I want to speak about this 35 billions from 50 billions of Russian assets, the decision during G7, and now the finding right mechanism for getting this money as quick as possible to us. I said very openly now with the President that when we had very big gap, long months without military support, really our interior production of drones and electronic systems of electronic warfare helped a lot. And we need money for this, and partly this money from Russian assets we need very much to use for our interior production. So as soon as possible we want to get some money for this, and of course helping our people with housing and etc. who lost their houses. So that's important questions, military and financial support, as President said. And of course winter is coming, and for us it's always dangerous. Winter is coming, so we have to prepare. We did our homework, we did a lot of things, but we need some urgent air defense things. I don't want now to go further with details about it. So thanks so much. That's why I'm here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. President Zelensky, critics of your victory plan say that it only talks about what the allies can do for Ukraine and not what Ukraine can do itself. What do you say to that?
What about this victory plan? First of all, it's not about somebody. We did it not for critics or not critics. We did it. By the way, I heard a lot of critics at the very beginning of the war, how it can finish and when and what will be and etc. But you see, now we are not in the capital, and around us we are now in Brussels, and around us are partners and friends. Not like it was at the very beginning of war. Then we've been in the capital, and around us been only Russian forces. So a lot of people share a lot of their ideas, analytics, and etc. Thanks them very much. But what is in our plan? Our plan is to strengthen Ukraine, to be strong and be ready to diplomacy, anything, to be very strong. And it's great, I think, that this plan doesn't depend on Russian will, only on the will of our partners. And I think this gives opportunity to make this plan real.
And one additional element, I think this is very important, that the plan of Ukraine is very clear about what they need in Ukraine. And on our side, the partners of Ukraine, we have to be consistent. And the words, this is good but not enough. What is needed, this is more military equipment, more technologies, so that the Ukraine are in a position to defend itself against this terrible and blatant violation of the international law.
The biggest work. What about what have our people to do? Yeah, you said our people already do the biggest and the hardest work in the world. They're defending not only Ukraine, the freedom of Europe.
Please, you.
From EU leaders, the decision, political decision, about 35 billion. Yes. It's now. And it depends only on unity of EU leaders. If somebody can not to block this decision, I think it will help. So this is the first one, and I think that the leaders can do it.
But Mr. Zelensky, so many points of your victory plan have been rejected in the past already. Why should this change right now?
Not so many points of this, because there are some secret documents, yes, and some very important sensitive points. Yes, we asked about some of them earlier, you are right, about, for example, how to take off all the permission and give us possibility to use long-distance weapon. Yes, everybody been against it. Then we began to produce our interior possibilities, and then mostly partners began to think about it, how to provide. Now we need to move some partners forward, and I think only with the unity in EU we can move, and can move not only EU leaders, we can move other leaders.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would like to invite you to take your seats, please. And at the same time, we will invite the press to leave the room so that we can start our meeting, please. Frédéric, qu'est-ce que Björn fait devant? Well, dear colleagues, I would like to welcome you and to welcome you, dear President Volodymyr Zelensky. But before we start our meeting, I would like to welcome two newcomers. This is the first European Council meeting for Dirk Schoof. Welcome. And this is also the first European Council meeting for Kristen Michel. Welcome, Kristen. I would like also to welcome back Robert Fico. It's good to have you with us, Robert. Okay, I propose we start our meeting with the first session, and this is an extraordinary session because we have once again the occasion to have you, dear Vladimir Zelensky, here in Brussels in person for our meeting. Just a few words on my side. This is a very important momentum, and all of us we can see what are the difficulties and challenges at the world level, at the international level. Yesterday we have had this important meeting with the Gulf countries, for instance, and we can see that there are a lot of complex challenges ahead of us. And we all know how it is important to be credible, to be determined, and to support Ukraine as much as we can, whatever it takes, to be very clear about the importance of this support for Ukraine. And once again, I would like to tell you, dear President Zelensky, that we are really impressed by the bravery of your people, by your courage. And I repeat again that we all know that you fight and your people are fighting for our common dreams, for our common values, for our common principles. And I have the impression that today there are two very important messages from a political point of view. First, you need more concrete support, more financial support, more military support, and you have the occasion to discuss in concrete terms what we can do. And you know that there is a proposal on the table in the follow-up of the G7 meeting we had in June, the idea that we have to unblock a package of $50 billion as soon as possible, and it has to be tangible, it has to be concrete. And point two, we made an important decision in this European Council a certain time ago when we decided to grant the candidate status to Ukraine, and since then you made a lot of progress by implementing reforms that are needed, and you have to continue to work together so that you come closer to the EU, because we are convinced that your future and the future of Ukraine is within the European Union's family. These are two important elements I wanted to share with all of you. And finally, probably the main topic, the victory plan. Yesterday you had the occasion to present in the Parliament in Ukraine the victory plan. You had also the occasion the last days and weeks to talk with some of us about this victory plan, and today we have one more occasion to go more into the details, to see what are your proposals, and following your presentation there will be an exchange of views that I'm certain will help us to make the decisions that we need to make our support more concrete, more operational and more tangible. Well, these were a few words I wanted to share in introduction, and now it's my pleasure to pass the floor to you. Dear Vladimir, welcome, please. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Charles, Mr. President, dear leaders. Thank you very much for invitation. Glad to welcome all of you, and grateful for this special meeting. This is a great opportunity to present and discuss the strategy to force Russia into real diplomacy. First of all, I want to thank all of you leaders, and thank to your people, your countries, for your big support. Your unity is also a weapon, and it's a weapon that means one thing for all of us: safety. Together we have saved thousands of Ukrainian lives and proven that war in Europe will not benefit the aggressor. Together we must stop this war, and together we must ensure that the conditions for the kind of peace we need, Ukrainians, your nations and all of Europe. And let me remind to all of you, this summer we held the, I think, successful peace summit. More than 100 countries and international organizations have supported it, and it's a clear path to restoring a just peace based on the UN Charter. We must hold a second peace summit that will put an end to the war, and we are preparing peace formula framework that includes all the aspects of peace restoration. There were already 4 meetings on peace formula points, and today the 5th one is taking place. I am grateful to France for hosting today's meeting. It's nuclear security. And in November we will come up with full-fledged document based on the peace formula, all the 10 points, and we'll share it for all, including Russians, at the peace summit. but how we all can make Russia ready for real diplomacy and force it to just peace. That is the real question. This is what the victory plan provides the answer for. Our people in Ukraine are doing everything they can to defend our state and independence. And I am proud of our soldiers who are holding the front under incredibly difficult, tough conditions. They need more strength because Putin is preparing his own reinforcements to continue the war, not end it. Of course, Putin wants to match your country's ammunition production by next year. And he is getting help from North Korea with shells, equipment, now even people. And plus Iran. Unfortunately, we are receiving signal that China is still actively helping Russia drag out this war. And we have clear intelligence data. We need to strengthen now. The victory plan is designed for this moment, and I urge all of you to help make it happen. If we start now and follow the victory plan, we can end this war no later than next year. Dear friends, I presented the victory plan to our parliament, our people, and I have their support. And I think it's so important to have unity in our country. The goal of the plan is that it strengthens not only Ukraine, but also our entire community, the Euro-Atlantic community. You all know Russia's psychology, and I think some of them know very well. Russia will resort to diplomacy only when it sees that it cannot achieve anything by force. This is the plan. This is exactly what's needed. And we must create the right conditions to end this war. First point of the plan, alliance. Ukraine is a democratic nation that have proven it can defend the Euro-Atlantic region and our shared way of life. And for decades, Russia has used the geopolitical uncertainty caused by Ukraine not being in NATO. Now, the fact of an immediate invitation to Ukraine to join NATO would be decisive. Of course, membership would follow later. Putin just must see that his geopolitical calculations are worthless. And an invitation now with membership later will have no political cost. It's a strong decision that requires nothing but determination. Moreover, yesterday in our parliament I said that the invitation now symbolizes much more than just NATO, and it's true. Determination on NATO for Ukraine also means the inevitability of European integration for Ukraine and the undeniable path of democracy in Ukraine. Invitation will strengthen our diplomatic stance. And this will be one of the main arguments to stop the war. Second point, defense. We must continue to apply pressure on Russia on the battlefield. And it's realistic to maintain positions on the front within Ukrainian territory while also bringing the war back into Russia so that Russians can feel what war is like and begin to hate Putin for it. This is the pressure too. We have a clear list of weapons that can make this possible. And with Kursk operation, we've shown that Putin does not have enough strength to hold on when we really apply pressure. So that's why we need to equip our brigades, lift all limitations, invest in Ukrainian defense industrial base and co-produce, and saturate Ukraine with air defense as soon as possible. Third point, real pressure. We propose placing on Ukrainian land a deterrence package that would either force Russia to participate in real peace negotiations or allow for the destruction of their military targets. It's the peace through strength approach for this point. And it's about the appropriate missile package. And we have provided all the details to our partners who can make this happen. These are the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Italy, Germany, and of course, we want to share with all the leaders who is ready to support in this case. Putin should respect our strengths, not have the free world tremble at his threats. And we can use the deterrence package only if Russia does not stop the war. Fourth, Ukraine has critical resources worth trillions of dollars, and Russia wants to take them. And this includes titanium, uranium, lithium, graphite, manganese, and much more that should not fall into Russia's hands, nor into the hands of its allies. Enemies of the free world must not gain any advantage in the global competition. Ukraine proposes to key partners, the EU, the United States, and our mutual global partners to make a special agreement on protecting Ukraine's critical resources, joint investment, and directing the relevant economic potential for our shared growth. And this agreement must include sanctions strong enough so that Russia cannot outplay us. And fifth, after this war, we will have hundreds of thousands of soldiers with modern combat experience equipped. And we propose supporting your trans with ours by replacing some of American contingents with our soldiers, especially in Europe or where we agree to, allowing the US to do more in its priority regions in the Pacific or anyway. But for this we need to win, of course. Dear leaders, we are ready to put the victory plan on your table and are counting on your support. Ukraine is ready for real diplomacy, but for it we must be strong. Forcefully imposed truce instead of fair peace never provided security. Nobody is happy when the war is brought back. And our unity, pressure on Russia and strengthening Ukraine are the keys to ending this war in a way that prevents Russia from starting it again. The victory plan is a bridge to a successful second peace summit. You can help make this a reality. And this will protect not only Ukraine but also Baltic states and Nordics and Poland, Balkans, other regions, other partners which are in Russian sights. At the same time, please don't ease the pressure of sanctions on Russia. It truly helps. And we appreciate the joint work with you on developing defense production. Thank you. Investment and joining manufacturing are really needed. Ukraine is grateful for all forms of your support for our resilience, and this includes support for our energy sector ahead of winter and for our people, especially the financial assistance that helps us meet the basic needs of Ukrainians. And your political decision on 35 billion euros for Ukraine as part of the G7's resolution on $50 billion from Russia assets is extremely important and is needed as soon as possible. Russia must pay and be held accountable for the destruction it has caused. Together we can and must bring peace closer, and thank you very much for invitation. Again, Mr. President, thank you for attention. And today I want to thank personally Charles Michel for his leadership during all these years of presidentship, and thanks for all the decisions you made, dear partners, dear friends. Thank you. Slava Ukraini. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I would like to leave the floor to Mette Frederik.
l'autre And this is Floor on Channel 1.
Okay.